Do you have shortcomings or holes in your real estate business that you don't even realize exist? Hey, I'm Trey Doby with Doby Real Estate, and it's vital that you track your real estate business so that you can see potential holes, learn where you can get better, and do more training ultimately. We went over tracking our business with our real estate team yesterday, and I wanted to share some of the information that we covered with them. But tracking your business is so critical. I know most real estate agents, you don't enjoy data, you don't enjoy numbers, but I have to insist this is an important step for each of you to do if you want to be successful in real estate. But we're going to walk through what all we track and how we track it. We use a program called Sisu to track our business. That's S-I-S-U. It is a software that we input all our transaction, and then it runs calculations and shows us all kinds of valuable data to us. Now, Sisu does cost a little bit of money, so if you're budget conscious or you can't afford it, obviously you can do this in Excel. It's just going to be a little bit more manual and take a little bit more of your time. But tracking your lead sources is critical. For us as a real estate business, we do it for several reasons, but one of the main reasons is we want to make sure we're investing our dollars in a good place. So if we're advertising in one area and we're spending a lot of money and we're not getting a lot of closings, we're not getting a lot of leads, that's not a great investment. But if we're investing a little bit of money and we're seeing huge returns, huge closings, lots of leads, then that's an area that we would take the money that's underperforming and realign it to the area that's overperforming to help us grow our business. It's also important to the agents on our team to know where their business is coming from so they can see the areas that they're really excelling in. So if you're crushing it in open houses and you want to grow your business, you can double down on your open house activity this year. Or maybe you're struggling on incoming sign calls, people that are calling about our listings. That could be an area of improvement for you. So enough about lead sources. Let's talk about conversion factors. This is an area where you can spot where you need some potential training. And I'm going to walk you through, I have the numbers right up here behind me, but I'm going to walk you through them so that you completely understand them. Dials to conversations. So this is how many phone calls are you making versus the number of conversations that you had. As you can see, you ideally need to be above 10%. Now this is going to vary by lead source. If you're calling your past clients, your friends, your family, etc., it's going to be much, much higher than that. However, if you're cold calling, you may be a little bit under that. But the goal here across all your lead sources and everybody you're calling, you want to be at least 10%. So you want to be at least 1 out of 10 dials having a conversation. Conversations to appointment set. Again, we're at 10%. So if you have 10 conversations, you should set at least 1 appointment. Again, this is a mesh across all lead sources. Set to met. So this is the number of appointments that you set compared to the people that you actually meet with. You ideally want to be in a 67 to 85% range. The reason that's such a big range is because that's going to vary depending if you focus on buyers or sellers, because there's ranges there. Ideally, if you're setting appointments with buyers, you're typically going to be close to that 67%, hopefully well north of that, but ideally you're meeting with at least 2 out of 3 people that you set an appointment with. However, on the list side, you should be closer to the 85% mark. So 8 to 9 out of 10 appointments that you set should actually stick. Now moving on to appointments set to the people that actually sign to be your client, you should be in a 70 to 90% range. So that's going to vary depending on the buy side, the list side, and a couple variables on the buy side. On the list side, you ideally want to be in the 70 to 80% range. Again, that's going to vary by lead source. On the buy side, you should be on the higher end of that of a 90%, because the people that we get to come in office to do a buyer's consultation, 99% of the time, those people sign. However, if you're running out and meeting people at showings and not doing a buyer's consultation, and you may show them one house and never see them again, well, then that's going to hurt you and you're going to be underneath that. So there's going to be areas of improvement. Now moving on to the people that sign to the people that actually go under contract, that's going to be a 65 to 85% range. If you're on the listing side, you're going to be on the upper end, maybe 85, 90% of that. But if you're on the buy side, you may be a little bit lower. People can't get approved, but you've already met with them, so there's a lot of factors there that goes into that. And then pending to close, the people that you get under contract to the people that close, you ideally want to be in an 85 to 90% range. Some deals are going to fall apart due to financing or obviously inspections. So the big question is, are you tracking your business? And if you're tracking your business and you're not within these ranges, what should you do? Well, I'm going to walk you through that as well. If you're not getting a 10% dial to conversation, odds are it's your lead source. You need to find better quality leads. So invest in different types of leads. Conversations of set to met, or a conversation to set, again, you need to be at 10%. If you're less than that, you're calling really, really cold leads, not getting answers. So again, it's a lead source problem. If you're not at the set to met ratio, 67 to 85%, what that means is you're setting people, but they're not physically meeting with you. So in this situation, more times than not, it's because you're not saying the right things on the phone. You're not building a relationship. You're not building rapport. You're not getting that trust for them to actually come in and meet with you. You may just be, powering through the conversation, backing them into the wall and getting them to agree to an appointment so that they'll get off the phone with you, and then they go missing and they don't show up for appointments. So you need to work on your scripting if you're below that 67 to 85% range. Appointments met to appointments signed. If you're not in that 70 to 90% range, your presentation needs work. If it's on the list side, you need to take time, refine that presentation, maybe work on how at the end you're going for the signature. Maybe there's something you're doing in that approach, you're leaving it in their court as opposed to being assertive and taking control and saying, hey, let's get this ball rolling at this point in time. Sign depends, 65 to 85%. If you're below that, on the buy side, you may get people to show up, but you're not qualifying them well on the phone. So you need to have better conversations to make sure it's actually people that can buy. Same thing on the sell side. If you're just rushing out to anybody that says, hey, I want a home value, they may not be realistic buyers. So again, you need to focus on having better conversations. And then in regards to pendings to close, 85 to 90%. If you're not that, you're not doing a good job of qualifying again. So maybe too many deals are falling apart because of financing, because you're not asking the right questions. You're not getting true pre-approvals. You're just getting pre-quals. Or maybe you need work on inspection negotiation. Maybe the deal always falls apart at that point in the stage. So these holes right here, or these statistics will point out holes in your business as far as where you can improve. Now we go over these numbers with our agents so that we can help them improve their business. We have Sisu, which is a great asset. So a lot of this happens on the administrative side of things where they can just log in and see these numbers instantly. If you're not in that scenario, it's gonna be a little bit more manual for you, but it will be worth it. Before we had Sisu, we had what we called CTE, which again was the input, kind of spit it out. But again, if you're not tracking your business, I can't stress the importance enough of tracking your business. Now, those of you, I have some exciting news for those of you that are wanting to get more listings. We are actually going to be hosting a training session on January the 26th, that's Thursday at 2:00 p.m. on how to list 15 homes in the next 90 days. I'm super excited about this event. I guarantee you that if you go to this event, it is a webinar. If you go to this webinar and take action immediately, you will list 15 homes in the next 90 days. Great thing is it's a webinar, so it's 100%. You'll show up and you can just listen, so nobody will know you're there. So if you're worried about somebody knowing, hey, I'm attending this event that Success in Real Estate is hosting. Great news is the only way people are going to know you there is if you use the chat feature. So I'm super excited to be hosting this event again, Thursday, January the 26th at 2 p.m. Again, I'm Trey with Dobie Real Estate. If you have any questions, I'm here to be a resource for you.